There is a lot that goes into health coaching, and Profile by Sanford takes it all into account. Today we have Abby back with us this morning to talk about the science of health coaching, and I think that's an interesting part of it. So talk about how what you do integrates that science into making their lives better.
Absolutely. Well, we know as a nutrition and health coaching company that obesity plays such a key role in the 4 major chronic health conditions that we have here in America, and that's going to be diabetes, stroke, cancer, and heart disease. And obesity is one of those things that we can actually manipulate. We can actually change our life through diet, activity, and lifestyle changes. And that's going to actually make a huge difference for our individuals as far as preventative health care with nutrition, activity, and lifestyle, and also taking that, taking those risks of health and heart disease down. So when we do nutrition and behavioral health coaching, we're really coming alongside our individuals and helping them understand what it is that we need to do in order to have that preventative medicine.
And I loved in the break we were talking a little bit about this. You said that you really work with the person. Can you explain your philosophy on that?
Yep, absolutely. So we have coaches who are trained in the science of nutrition and behavioral health. But then we have our individuals who are coming in and they are experts in their own life. They know what works for them. They know what they've tried. They understand, what makes them tick. So the individual is going to come in and talk to us about that, and we're going to come alongside them and give them the support and the education based on what they are telling us about their life. And so we kind of have to go into it saying, we're going to listen to you, and now you have to listen to us as well.
So it's not just like you're being talked at the whole time, which is nice.
No, we were talking about that too. It's I can tell you to do everything, but we need to talk through how we're going to do it together and really dive into the behavioral aspect of who you are as an individual. One thing that I think is really valuable as a health coach is listening to the individual and helping them understand where they're actually at. We might think, okay, I'm ready to go, it's the new year, whatever that might look like. But sometimes the coach can step back and say, you know what, you're not quite there in the mental state. Maybe you have all these ideas, but let's get those behaviors under control so that you really can be on that sustainable life path of change.
And so speaking of change, you have a tool that you use, Wheel of Change. Can you explain how that works? I believe we have a graphic of it and how a person goes through that.
So we have something that's, it's all the way from pre-contemplative. So this is like way before anybody even thinks that they need to change, all the way through the spectrum of change, and then all the way through sustainability and maintenance. And so when our individuals come in, we really try to talk through, understand where they're at on that stage of change. It's going to make a huge difference if we're on the same field and really understanding what part of that behavioral lifestyle change that you're in, then we can help you move to the next one or just meet you where you're at. Sometimes it's okay to just be where you're at, and understanding yourself at that space is okay too.
To figure out where you're going, you have to know where you've been and where you are.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that when you say that too. One great way to use our health coaches is, they're going to help you identify what motivates you. And really those conversations, creating that deep relationship, being honest with your coach is going to be a really helpful tip. Being honest so that they can help you understand where your motivations are. That individual is going to also need to be open to that education. So because our coaches are trained in that education of lifestyle and behavioral change, we need our members to come in and say, all right, I'm ready to learn. And sometimes it can be a little bit challenging because change is hard. And our coaches understand that. They understand that change is hard, and so taking the time, meeting with your coach every week, being consistent, being open to that education and that change that you're looking for is going to be super, super important.
I love the phrase. It reminds me of it. If you want something different in your life, you have to do something different.
Yes, absolutely. And I think that's just, we kind of get stuck in that wheel of that same cycle, and that is what we try to do. We really want to break those cycles of what you're already doing that you keep failing, because every time you fail it feels like a little bit, you hurt a little bit more, right? And so we want people to feel like they're stepping out of that cycle into a new cycle of positivity and moving forward, so that they're actually making those changes, and you can be proud of yourself for that.
I love that. So if people want to get involved or get a health coach, where do they go?
They go to profileplan.com. One thing that I want to plug is that we are hiring for our coaches, our health coaches. If you feel like this is something that really digs into your heart and you feel like you want to be coming alongside individuals and sharing those lifestyle changes with them, we are hiring, and we would love to have more individuals coming alongside our community members and changing their lives. One thing I want to say really quick about those health coaches too is that individuals who engage in health coaching are 3 times more likely to stick with that lifestyle change. So you can come alongside, Pinterest, YouTube, grabbing all these different things, but when you have a coach next to you with that accountability and education, you are 3 times more likely to actually follow through with those lifestyle changes and move on to those new phases of life.
I'm loving that. All right, Abby, well, thanks for coming on today.
Yes, thanks for having me. It's so nice.
Coming up on today's show, we're heading out to Jurassic Quest and talking to one of the dino trainers ahead of this weekend's event in Grand Forks.